Okay, this time I don't have any shrines, so let's see what this is like. That is more indicative of a regular kill, right there. Oh, Figi. Petrified blood, huh? Or petrified statue. I've had a lot of people talking to me recently about their experiences playing slams, and I mean, I assume they're mostly people who favor bows, and they say it's actually not as good as Bow Warden. Like they don't even tell me they swap from slams to this build. I didn't really expect that to happen, but I had several people now tell me this. Very interesting. Did you guys know that? People are swapping out of, like, people just not enjoying slams very much because they don't like the play style. I almost didn't swing over this way. I went straight to the boss room, but because I popped Avatar, I needed it to come back up. Well, it actually didn't even come up. That's so funny when you make a decision like a 10% of the time. I did what I would only do 10% of the time, then a divine drops. Ooh. But that, I mean, this is a lot of loot too. Grand Elder oh my god. Sometimes you just gotta Eldritch farm. You know what I mean? Gee. There it is. It's probably the only map I'll do like this in all 40. Oh, we got Shaper Touch map. Oh. Can you believe I'm doing Shaper Touch on a bow Andy with less than 3,000 life? I gotta be out of my effing mind. But as you can see, it's not much of a problem. Groundwalker on me. Oh, it's gonna kill me if it's still on. Whew. Lucky. It could have killed me. Come on, drop a yoke. Do it. I'm overdue. Boom, there it is. Gotcha yoke. That's what we're here for. The money. The payday. The payday. Oh yeah. Sometimes you just gotta like pull it straight out of the ether. I am the Magicify Messiah after all. I mean, of course I can do that. Of course I have the power to do that. I just didn't feel like exercising that power. Until now, suddenly. Containment Scarab? Alright. I think it's the only Scarab that's actually really worth something right now. See, like, even if I'm not, like, farming trash, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna clear, let's say, a third of the trash on the way here. So I don't have to feel that bad about just rushing the boss. Timing. Drowning Orb. Damn it! I hate Drowning Orbs so much. Oh my god. Why? It's like they're just always there. They're always there. Right where you're going. Always there. Oh my god. We got a second yoke. We are even. Not unlucky. Not unlucky with 2 maps remain. Alright, is this another 5%er? I swear to god. I hit 5%. I have hit 5%. Like, I'm seriously like 70% success rate on hitting 5% rolls. That's how insane this is. Fortunately, it doesn't matter all that much. There's not like a huge difference between like 5 and 9 in value, but bro, it's just, I'm not even asking to hit 10. I'm not even asking for 10. I'm just asking for like 6. Just 6, just to prove it. Just to prove myself that it can be done. Alright, I'm just genuinely happy it dropped, actually. Hey look, I'm running over a bunch of garbage ground effects and not dying. Not to mention volatile core. How am I doing that? All the way to the boss room. Easy. Look at these mods. Let's do this. Welcome everyone. It's new. We are here with the first major 3.26 farm of the league. Those of you in the know were probably expecting something like this one. Those of you not in the know, this might be coming out of left field because it's usually, you know, Exarch farming, Legion Dune, some kind of T17 stuff. But I decided to go big this time. And so I essentially rushed to T17 doing the impossible farm for bow builds. Yes, we're playing a PoE Warden today. We're doing tier 17s on day 3. Just to verify, let's see what we got. 1 day and 18 hours almost. That's where we're at on the /played. And this is some exciting times, okay? So you can see the overlay. We're going to be running Fortress map. You can see in the background. I am not just going to track the currency I earn. I'm actually going to track the maps that I brick, if any. And even the portal spent, okay? Because there's a perception out there that bow builds are not worthy of doing the content that I'm about to show you today, especially this early in the league. And so I think that constitutes the perception versus reality of the ages, you might say. A lot more at stake than just whether or not the farm is as good or bad as people think it is. We're talking full-blown builds, you know, whether a build can handle doing the farm. And I'm of the belief that it can. And of course, I've already been running this. I did my first Fortress map, I think at 28 hours played, on a lot worse gear than this. And so I've been able to gear up a bit because I've been running this farm, and yes, it is quite lucrative, I must say. It is beginning to sunset, though, a little. The Yoke of Suffering is the big drop. It's now worth only about 8 or 9 div a piece, okay? And it started, when I started, it was about 11 or 12. And then the map prices remained about the same, but, you know, a lot of things are kind of beginning to work against the farm's favor a little bit. But I think there's still plenty of time left to make a whole bunch of currency doing this. It is, in fact, essentially an alch and go strat, but we're going to call this chaos and go. You know why? Because we can't use alchemy orbs on these maps. They have to be used with chaos orbs. So much like you would do an alch scour. Oh, bad mods, I'm going to scour it, re-alch. Instead, you're just going to use a few chaos orbs. And I just got done rolling some maps on stream where you can see the link to that uncut, including the entire farm. Down below in the description, you can see the build that I'm using, the POB, the guide, build guide, I mean, all of that, all the links in the description of the video if you're interested in seeing that. But now we're going to get into what the farm is and all the details. Okay. So first off, obviously, you can see there's a bow build, and this is the build I'm running currently right now. Pretty good gear, I'd say, at the end of day 3. I think I overshot a little bit more. I checked my gear set at the end of day 3 and even did a test run on standard before league launch, and my gear was not as good as this. Many items are cheaper than normal. Inspired Learning was actually more expensive. The funny thing is, all 3 of these major jewels are each worth 4 divines apiece. So that was kind of weird. One slight deviation I did that was a pretty good idea, especially with Dying Sun, is this flask setup here. But I am still only level 93 because I've been in tier 17s for a long time now. So leveling up is a little bit difficult, but I am still making some progress. So that is nice. As for the setup, let's go to the Atlas next here. All right, so here's the deal. This is a boss rushing strat, and this is going to be absolutely speed blitz demon style play. I'm going to basically treat this like I used to do speed shrine juicing in Crimson Temple and Jungle Valley, except I'm just going to, you know, pretend the boss is easier than it is because I was not informed that my character couldn't do this, so I just figured I would just do it anyway. And yeah, I've been doing it. So this is how I'm running it, trying to take advantage where I can. Okay, we don't need mechanics. We're just rushing the boss. We're going to take Nico and get packed with energy. Might as well. I mean, what else am I doing with the points? Maybe a little bit into scarabs and stuff, but I don't really care about that. too much. Shrines are going to be a big thing. We use domination, just get some borrowed power there. If I see a shrine, great, on the way, awesome, it'll make me more efficient. If I don't, well, then it doesn't matter. Shrines cost 3 chaos on the Keurig crafting bench, so that's pretty cheap, especially as far as tier 17, returns go. But yeah, increase effective modifiers in the map is still very important for dropping extra Uber fragments, okay? So Uber fragments are kind of the secondary drop, okay? We're going for Yoke of Suffering, then Uber fragments, Cosmic Fragment especially is the most expensive one. And that's about it. I mean, Scarabs, I guess, would be category 3, and maybe Currency is category 4, but honestly not seeing very many Divine Orbs, which you'll understand when I talk about rolling the maps here in a second. But yep, this is the Atlas. It is linked in the description. Okay. Next up, we have Scarabs and maps. Well, as you can see, there are no Scarabs. So I haven't used a single Scarab this league. All right? Look, I got like 50 plus Divines invested in my gear. I haven't used a single Scarab in a map. So it seems like a pretty good season for just Alch and Go, or Chaos and Go, I guess. As far as these maps are rolled, I have a regex that I'll link down below. It's a little different than you might think. Now, one of the perceptions out there as to why bow build can't do this is because it can't handle all the ground effects, things like Searing Runes, Awaken Patches, Shaper Touched, Elder Circles, Saw Blades, Drowning Orbs, all this stuff. But I find those things are actually easier than normal. I find the most difficult ones, not really difficult, but the most annoying ones are ones that increase the monster's EHP, and ones that let the monsters go faster, okay? Speed them up, or I can't freeze them, because my build is heavily reliant on Oath of Winter. And that's how I'm enabled to go in and do this, as a Warden. So I've basically removed any mods that would speed the mobs up, and I've removed any mods that would dramatically increase their EHP. Just because I don't want to spend more time in there, trying to be efficient, right? I mean, if nothing else, you don't want mobs to have EHP, because you want to get in and out faster. Okay, so here's just some of the maps that you can see, in case you want to pause the video. You can see there are several in here that have some pretty gnarly mods. There are some that have multiple really nasty mods, ground effect mods. Not too bad, not too big of a deal. But overall, I'd say they're pretty easy. Apparently I spent an average of, 16 chaos per map rolling, so nothing too extreme. But that definitely added to the cost a little bit. Let's actually get the cost out of the way. I have it written down here. We'll look at this later on when we get done with the conclusion. It's 33.6 divines in total. Most of that is the maps itself, 110 chaos on average per fortress maps, and they've been fluctuating somewhere around 90 to 120 for the past 24 hours, I think. I already mentioned the Keurig map device, so that's 3 chaos per there. That's 1.9 divines for 40 maps. And the map rolling itself, yeah, was 4.2 divines. So that's where those 3 categories is the only thing that had anything to do with the investment cost. Now, I have my maps separated here because there are certain mods that essentially brick the build if I don't alter the build in some way. I got Reflect here. I got maps where the monsters regen. I got maps where the monsters block. I got maps where the monsters chain. Okay, now chain, you might not be aware, you can use Soul of Lunaris, swap over to that so the mobs can't chain. Now I have minions through Mirror Arrow bombarding clones, so that could rip me if I'm not being careful. I will most certainly die a few times in here, but I haven't bricked a map yet, believe it or not. And yeah, came a little bit close on occasion, but a lot of times I'm using, riskier gameplay than I should be. Let's put those away where they go. All right, and yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? No. Okay, so you would have noticed that the highlights were before the video. So I figure I will try this out for a little while, see how it goes. I'm going to run one map. We'll do that uncut in the video, and then we'll just jump straight to the conclusion, and we'll use the Wealthy Exile app to help track, but it's also miscalculating a lot of things, so I'm probably going to have to do a kind of a hybrid liquidation versus plus, that. I've done that in the past. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. I'll do something a little special here. We'll just take this map. This map was kind of weird because I'm just going to roll one map here, and I'm going to use the regex that I was using. Instead of just, hand selecting the first map in case it's easy, we are just going to roll one here. Usually you roll these in mass, like go all the way around, but let's see what we get, and if it's something I can run. And I'll tell you a little bit about what was in my mind. I can't regex everything off. That has a huge EHP mod. Other than that, it's pretty easy. I would still run that damage mod, actually, if it's by itself, but I won't. in this case. And this is it. Well, okay, looks like I got lucky here. Hexproof, nerfs my damage a little, but this is really easy map, and so we're going to go. Now, it has a scarab and currency roll, but I actually don't care about that. We're not doing the full map, guys. I'm not doing the full map. I'm just getting in and out real quick. The only time I'm doing more of the map is if I get a good either world altar or I have an acceleration shrine, so I just like blaze through the map. All right, everything qualitied up. And here we go. I don't actually hit the bismuth ore, at least early. I don't do that until after the boss. There would be another reason to maybe hit it. So might be missing out a bit on currency, but again, this is kind of a hyper-focused bossing strat. I'm really not worried about the map or the loot in the map. Obviously, on the way, I'll grab things if it drops. I'm using the insane strict filter. And I basically just got the cheat mode, drop the portal there, and this boss is going to die faster than it would normally. Because I had repeater shrine and acceleration shrine. That's a little too bad because it's not going to showcase a realistic kill, but oh well. Now, because I have all those shrines, I will keep going, except I'm not going to because I had buffs expire faster, so in that case, we're out of here. Now, I don't know, you can go back in time how long that map was, but obviously it's pretty dang fast, right? With or without the acceleration shrine. So we're going to put these in the dump tab here, and I'm going to start next with a little swap over here. Oh, I already did it. And then I have to do a little bit of a swap here. I guess I pull least important node, and then I need to take reflect, and now I'm immune to elemental reflect, and I can run this map. I'll start putting the maps in here when I get done with these specialized ones, and then we'll be going even faster. Okay, guys, like I said, we're going straight to the business, the aftermath, the immediate aftermath of the farm. All right, so lucky, we got the second yoke in the nick of time. And you can see the Wealthy Exile app. For those of you who've been following PoE2, we don't have this because it's not, you know, the original game has a lot more resources, third-party programs. This is something we can use to help track what we have in dump tabs. And it pulls the API for the value of things, but it's not particularly accurate, especially at league start. Some of these numbers look right, but some of them don't. So I'm going to be liquidating things to try to set it proper here, and then we'll extend the video in real time there. Again, all uncut on Twitch, linked in the description. But anyway, you can see two yokes here, a lot of the fragments, of course, cosmic fragments on top. I must have got unlucky because I'm pretty sure Awaken and Cosmic Fragments are equal drop chance. Cosmic, Awaken, Decay, right? How do I get 11 and 25? Looks like I got really unlucky with Cosmic drop rates here. Did okay with some other things though. You know, just scroll down and kind of see everything. And yeah, like the harvest scarabs of doubling were ridiculously undervalued in the app and stuff. So I'm going to go and liquidate that stuff, especially things that I can with the currency exchange. And look at all these maps here. That's not right at all. So I can sell these for more. All right, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit, but we got this done in well under 2 hours, so made a lot of currency. You can see the estimated number up top. So I know I'm well in the green. 12. There it is. Huge surprise. I thought these were worth like 9 div. Literally in the time I started the video to the time I finished the farm, they went up by 3 div. Looks like I'm going to stay on this farm for a little longer then. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'd bring your attention to the final breakdown. There we go. That was actually really fast. Quite easy to liquidate all that stuff. It was mostly like Uber fragments. A few scarabs. Quick tip, don't liquidate the scarabs until you get a ton of them. It's really annoying to do them a few at a time, but the uber fragments you can liquidate a few at a time. It's not so bad, and that can help feed your maps to keep cycling. That's kind of how I've been doing it. Okay, so you can see map costs are up here, 33.6 divines invested, and everything is in here. This is what it looks like liquidated. Remember, this number said 50 before, now it says 57. That's what happens when you actually, you know, use the Faustus currency exchange and get the real rates on some things, and everything else checks out pretty well. It's still not counting some of my maps quite properly, but this is way more accurate to the actual amount I made. 57 div gross, 23.4 div net. All right, and I probably included a highlight section of yokes being more expensive than I expected. Suddenly they shot up, so very lucky timing from my part, or unlucky timing earlier today, depending on how you look at it. Div per map, 0.6, okay, so not a huge amount, but these are crazy fast maps, guys. This is 1 hour and 45 minutes. 2.5 minutes per map, counting hideout time. It's pretty crazy. It's nice having those maps down the little window, and the rocket sack works really well for this farm. Divines per hour, you can see the number here, 13.4. 13.4 divines per hour for this farm. And it was truly exactly like what I said before, how I kind of see the farm. In order to do boss rushing, the combination of the uber fragments and what little currency you get rushing to the boss, that's break even, basically. Although, again, I think I actually got really unlucky with cosmic fragments. I'll have to check again, but I'm pretty sure, like, it just came out way low, and I know that boss drops a lot of them. I'm not 100% sure, but that could be the case. So anyway, I basically broke dead even, plus 2 yokes, and I did 40 maps, which means I should drop 2 yokes, because evidently yoke is exactly a 20% or 1 in 20 drop, 5% drop rate. So everything checks out truly here. I did 40 maps purposely in case we needed to normalize the drops, and I failed to drop a yoke, or I dropped 4 or something, you know, so we have normalized results. So we don't need to adjust anything. It comes out perfect as it should. Very nice. All right, well, let's do the proper final thoughts on this one. I forgot to mention earlier, Portal spent 15. I died 15 times in 40 maps. I believe I didn't die any more than 2, maybe 3 times on one map. So I was never in contention for like 6 portaling a map. You got to see the map mods. I scrolled over them. Some of those maps were no joke. You got to see some highlights. These were not like super hyper rolled maps, 100 chaos to get the perfect easy map. These were, you know, I rolled it all on stream. 16 chaos per map, I believe it was 16 or 18, I can't remember. So yeah, 0 brick maps, 15 portals, and I feel like that was pretty satisfactory for me, given that I'm loosening up the map rolls and willing to accept some deaths here. I don't feel like I'm subject to bricking, which, you know, the gear is getting pretty good. Far cry from a day 2 no crit 5 link bow. This is more a proper day 3, day 4 for somebody who's pretty fast. This might be something like what your character looks like in the future. This farm may or may not be good in the future, so you have to keep track of yoke, but my goodness, that's hella fun, dude. That's hella fun. There's so many people in the chat talking about how that looks so fun. I was dead serious in the front end of the video about, you know, people switching over to this build, if nothing else, because it just looks fun. And people now seeing, you know, they're starting to see in real time, in real settings, league settings, not just mocked up standard stuff that, you know, you never really know. But yeah, this is the real league, and we got her done. So the reality is that the bow character can do it, at least with this kind of gear. This is definitely pretty decent gear, and I really like the build right now in the current snapshot. Next up will be Headhunter, Nimbus, and another new bow, because I don't have any plus arrows. I'm still running a 3 arrow setup, but for whatever reason, especially if you're not doing like Legion or stuff, it still performs super well, even on 3 arrows. No additional arrows anywhere on gear. Quite surprising. Excellent for Fortress, definitely, and single target doesn't even matter for elemental hit of the spectrum. How many arrows you have? It would just look the same with 1 arrow, probably. So guys, we are done with the video. I hope this one was a little shorter. I know you probably have some questions. Please ask in the comment section of the video if you do. But otherwise, I think I'm gonna go back to doing this a little bit for another day. It's actually quite fun. It really does remind me of just speed juicing in T17s in easy mode. I just die occasionally, I guess. And yeah, I'll get my fix in there and then start moving into some more harder juicing content. Can you believe that? I just referred to this as an easy strat. Wow, crazy. That's crazy. Alright, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Where my Warden boys at? Warden gang! Alright. More fire, more lightning, no physical, no cold. This removes like so much stuff. And so when we hit this, we're done. See what I mean? See what I mean? This just happens every time. It happens every time. You just hit it once and you're done. Like I just bench craft speed on it and I'm done. Game's so easy. Oh my god. What? Okay.